Fernando, who Cesar Almeida beat. Cesar Almeida really impressed me though. He had good grappling. His grappling actually looked really good against Lucas Fernando. So I'm actually gonna take Almeida here. I know he's not like a young bloke, but he's a good striker. He has good grappling, and I think he can knock out Dylan Budker if it stays on the feet at any moment in time. Like he generally did impress me against Fernando. So yeah, that's how I'm going to lean. Let's not forget this guy does have a win over Alex Payo, obviously in kickboxing, but you know, that's pretty fucking good for him. I'm gonna say KO's Dylan Budka. You know, this is an ideal circumstances. Budka's not even a big middleweight either, so I don't think he's gonna go in and impose his will or anything like that. Then we have Jean Matasumoto versus Dan Argueta. I remember being pretty impressed with Matsumoto when he did fight on Dana White Contender Series. He'd been a decent guy. I know 4-0, 6-0, sorry, isn't like a stacked record, but Casey Tanner looked pretty decent from what I could remember on that fight. And Dan Argueta didn't look great against Miles Johns. He looked really good against Ronnie Lawrence, though. This is like the weird thing. He beat Nick Aguirre, but like, it's like this is a tough one. He did lose to Ricky Tercios, though, which is a horrible look. I'm going to go with the younger man here, Matsumoto. I think he's got all the momentum. He's beat some pretty good guys. He's not like just can crushing to his record, you know. 0-0. He's got a few 0-0s, but he's got a 1-0, 1-0, 2-0, 4-0, 10-8, not great. 10-3, pretty alright. 13-6, that's a decent record. Not like a fucking championship level guy, but you know, 9-3, 9-1, 7-0, 6-0. He's beaten some good guys. He's not just can crushing, so I'm gonna take him against Dan Argueta. I'm gonna say he gets it done by decision. I don't think he's gonna finish Dan Argueta, but I see him putting on a good performance. Then we have Cynthia Calvillo. I thought she was cut. I really thought she got fucking cut. What the fuck happened? Didn't she like retire or something like that? I can't even keep up with these fucking women fighters anymore. Rodriguez lost to Gillian Robertson with an armbar. She beat Kay Hansen, but like who hasn't beat Kay Hansen? Oh, this is a fucking difficult fight, man. Just based on her being on a losing streak, and I know Rodriguez is coming off a loss as well, but I'm just going to go with Pete. I was about to say Pete Rodriguez. I'm going to go with Perea Rodriguez here. I don't think she's great, but she beat Sam Hughes. Sam Hughes is like decent. She is very tough, you know, for a woman fighter. She's gritty. And at this point in time, like I'd probably rate Sam Hughes better than Calvillo. So, yeah, that's where I'm going to take this. I'm going to go with Perea Rodriguez. Then we have Ala Teng versus Victor Hugo. I'm going to take Victor Hugo here. He impressed me on Dana White Contender Series. He seems pretty good. He's fought as high as heavyweight. But his jiu-jitsu's legit. This guy's got good jiu-jitsu. He's got good grappling. But does that benefit him here? Like, Ali Teng, he's got decent grappling, but he's a smaller guy. He's a former flyweight, I believe, if I'm thinking about the right guy. Yeah, he has fought at flyweight in the past. Victor Hugo would have to cut off his leg to make flyweight. I think he's going to have a pretty big size advantage. Like I say, this guy can deal with welterweights, lightweights, featherweights. I think he can win this fight at bantamweight. If he can make the weight, I can see him getting a submission here. He does have really good jiu-jitsu. Oh, this is a tough one, man. Yeah, I'm going to take him. I'm not super confident on it, but I'm going to go with Victor Hugo. Then we have Norma Dumont versus Jermaine Durandamine. These cards, man. These fucking cards. I'm going to go Norma Dumont. Pregnancy tax. Durandamine's coming off a pregnancy. Her estrogen levels and everything are going to be through the roof. I think she's going to fight a bit differently. She's been inactive for years. She's like, 39 years old. Hasn't fought for 4 fucking years. I mean, I gotta go with Norma Dumont, right? She's been active. She's on a win streak. She's on a good run. Yeah, I'm gonna take her here. I think she'll get this one done. She's improving rapidly. She's younger. So yeah, I'm gonna go Norma Dumont here. It is her first fight at bantamweight, though, I believe. So that would be interesting to keep your eye on. But I trust her to get this one done. Durandamine is much better, but like she's old and she hasn't fought for a while, so I'm gonna say Norma Dumont finds a way to get this one done. I know that when you look at it, she's only really lost to Nunes, Julia Budd, and she has beat Juliana Pena. But then who has she beat? Aspen Ladd. She did beat Raquel Pennington, who I guess is the fucking champ. Just speaks to how bad this division is, man. And she did beat Larissa Pacheco as well, so she does have some really solid wins. But like I say, this is years ago. We're talking 2015. That's 9 years ago, which is crazy to say. So I'm going to trust in Norma Dumont, but I don't fucking know, man. Then we have Court McGee versus Alex Morono. I think Alex Morono, with his skinny, fat build, I think he's going to go in there and I think he's going to fucking beat the shit out of Court McGee for a devastating 29-28 decision win here. Court McGee's gritty, but Alex Morono, younger fighter, at this point in time more durable, even though he is chinny, but Court McGee's coming off back-to-back KO losses. I trust in Alex Morono to get this one done. Then we have Trevor Peek versus Charlie Campbell. Now this is an interesting fight to predict. God damn, man. I might... Charlie Campbell is decent. He has decent boxing. But do we really rate beating Alex Reyes and then beating a 9-5 opponent? We do know his chin is like crackable. He can be cracked. This is generally an interesting fight. Oh, they're both very wild. Both unorthodox. And Trevor Peek didn't look too good in his last fight. I know he won. I'm going to go Charlie Campbell in this fight. I'm not super confident in the prediction, but he does fight much better boxing. He does seem to have good takedown defense. He's got a longer reach. I can just see him cracking Trevor Peek. I can see him just winning this via technique. I know Trevor Peek chads his way to victory, but I don't think he's going to get this one done. Then we have Lucas Bresky versus Volta Walker. I'm going to take Volta Walker here. Not because I think he's great or anything like that, but I think he's alright, but I think he is going to be better than Lucas Bresky. Bresky, he's a broken man at this point. Lost to Bidet, lost to Carl Williams, got knocked out with a back of the head shot by Waldo Cortez Acosta. Who knows how he's recovered from that. Walker does seem to be more of a grappler, and we have seen that Lucas Bresky can be taken down. So I'm going to imagine Volta Walker gets him down and gets a ground and pound finish. Also massive reach, 81.1 inch reach. That's crazy. He's 6'6". He's 26 years old. He's young. He's big. He's a big heavyweight. And I trust him to get this done. Hopefully he doesn't have the Johnny Walker chin. Hopefully the chin isn't hereditary, Hopefully it's not genetic. Then we have Inacio Bahamondes versus Christos Gagios. I'm going to take Inacio Bahamondes. I know he lost his last fight to Ludovic Klein, but I don't think Gregorio is even a similar level to him at this point in time. He's been chinned by Ahmed Sarukian. He KO'd old man Ricky Glenn, who, somehow just turned senile all of a sudden. He beat the fuck out of him, which was a good win. But then, you look at the guys he's beat. Damir Hadzovic, he's not really that great. He beat 18-9 Masuto Hiriota. He lost to Charles Oliveira, obviously not a bad loss. Got chinned by by Josh Emmett and then lost to Chris Wade back in the day. Got armbarred by Gilbert Burns. He's been subbed a lot. And I know Ignacio Bahamondes isn't like a striker, but we did see Gargios have like a bit of problem with the long rangey the striking of Daniel Zalhuber. I think Ignacio Bahamondes is a much better striker. I know that sounds like MMA math, but I think Ignacio can just use that long rangey frame to get his way to a decision here over Christos Gargios. I had his fucking name a minute ago. Gargios, I don't know. I'm going with Ignacio Bahamondes. Then we have Morgan Charrier versus Shepe Mariscal. I'm going with the underdog here. I believe he's the underdog. Yeah, he's the slight underdog. I don't know why this man keeps getting put as the underdog, but I'm going with Shepe Mariscal. Now, he was getting tooled up by Jack Jenkins. Jack Jenkins was winning that fight pretty clearly. He was looking the best he's looked in his career in the UFC. But, you know, Shepe Mariscal, shout out to him. He did get that judo throw and he did get the, don't want to say a fluke, but a very weird type of finish. But I'm going to go with Shepe Mariscal here. I think he's good. He's aggressive. He's got that dog in him. He's got some really solid wins as well. He's got really good wins. He is a good fighter. He's just got that dog in him, man. That's like the best way you can describe him. Morgan Charrier, I see a lot of hype on him after his debut, but like, he beat Manolo Sacchetti. He's not great. He's really not a good fighter, respectfully. Not like a great guy. Lost to guys way better than him. Like, he lost to Paul Hughes, Jordan Vucenic. I think he lost to Vucenic twice, right? No, okay, only once. And then he's lost to, like, Saladin, Paresis. Like, he's losing to good guys. Soren Bak, who beat Paddy Pimblett. Ruslan Kamzananov. Okay, he lost and then never fought again. Like, he's losing to all these guys who should be in the UFC. So I guess they're not, like, horrible losses. But I don't really rate him too highly, if I'm going to be honest. I don't think he's, like, that great. I know everyone's hyped on him. He looks cool. He's got a cool look to him. But I don't think he's, like, a great fighter by any means. Young guy, though, he can keep improving. But I am going to take Shepe Mariscal to pressure forward, fight with that dog, and get this fight done. And Charrier, he's tough. He doesn't really get finished. Most of his losses, actually, I think all of his losses are by decision. So he's durable. I'm going to go Shepe Mariscal decision. But it should be a fun fight for as long as it lasts. Then we have Alexander Hernandez versus Damon Jackson. I'm taking Alexander Hernandez. I think this is a great matchup for him. Now, I don't like him at featherweight. I don't think it's a good mix for him here in this weight class. But what do we know about Damon Jackson? Not very durable. He can be chinned. What do we know about Alexander Hernandez? He's powerful and he can crack. Now, can he crack at featherweight? We haven't seen it. But I'd imagine he can still crack. At the very least, we know Damon Jackson doesn't have a great chin. There is a lot of asterisks towards this. If this was a lightweight fight, I would be very confident in Alexander Hernandez. I am still confident, but not super confident, just because we don't know if this featherweight version of Alexander Hernandez has that pop to his shots. But I'm going to imagine he does. So I'm going to take Alexander Hernandez to get the win over Damon Jackson via KO. Then we have Brendan Allen versus Chris Curtis. So these two fought in 2021. I believe, it was 2021. So it's been 2 years, 2.5 years at this point. And after that, he beat Rodolfo Vieira, fought Jack Hermanson, where he sort of got exposed there. Lost to Kelvin Gastelum in a back and forth fight. That was a really close fight that he could have won. Then he got head clashed by Nasruddin Amarvov, beat Marc-Andre Barrios. So he's had some interesting fights. And Brendan Allen, on the other hand, he's looking really good. But he hasn't fought anyone remotely similar to Chris Curtis since he fought Chris Curtis. The closest you can really say is fucking Sam Alvey and maybe Bruno Silva. And Bruno Silva was cracking him with big shots. This is generally a fight I don't know where I'm going to go, where I'm going to lean in this fight. It's been a few years since they fought, though. Like I say, Chris Curtis is much older. Brendan Allen's still young. But this is middleweight. This is so fucking difficult, man. This is generally a difficult fight. I'm gonna go with Brendan Allen though. I just have to, right? He seems like he's improved, especially his grappling. Seems like it's improved. Like I just see where he can go out there and maybe wrestle his way a bit more. But again, he got fucking cracked by Paul Craig. He didn't look good in that Paul Craig fight. Everyone was acting like he was like a definite title contender after that fight. Him and Paul Craig like double rocked each other. Oh, this is one of the worst fights I've ever had to fucking predict. Because we know Chris Curtis can chin him. My God, man, like I'm gonna go with Brendan Allen, but I'm not confident. I don't like this pick at all, man. I don't like it. But part of me is just thinking, like, why would it? I'm going Brendan Allen. I think he's going to be able to mix in his grappling a lot more. I know, like, Chris Curtis has that high takedown defense stat, but, like, Rodolfo Vieira really did bulldoze that stat for him. You know, Nasruddin Imavov went in there and wrestled him. I think Brendan Allen's a much better grappler than Nasruddin. I think Marc-Andre Barriolo might have got a takedown. I can't quite remember. But I do just like Brendan Allen to mix in his grappling here. If he goes in there and fucking strikes with him, he probably will get KO'd. And knowing Brendan Allen, he's going to be laughing. He's going to be doing that pointing thing he does. He's going to have a big smirk on his face. And he's probably going to get fucking KO'd again. But I'm going to just imagine that's not going to happen most times out of 10. So I'm going to go with Chris Curtis. I'm not confident with this pick at all. But, I mean, did I say Chris Curtis? I'm going with Brendan Allen, sorry. I think Brendan Allen's going to get this one done. Am I confident about it? Absolutely not. But, I mean, why is this fight happening? I was going to go with Marvin Vettori against Brendan Allen, though. I don't rate Brendan Allen like people do. People think Brendan Allen's like the next big thing at middleweight. I don't think that's true. We've shown he's a bit of a glass jaw. He did get carried by Sean Strickland. Got carried by Chris Curtis. Has been rocked quite a bit. Arguably lost to Jacob Malkoon. Like, I don't think he's that great. But, like, surely he just knows to, like, fight vertically. Like, surely there's, like, a path to victory. He can just replicate what Jack Hermanson did, right? You'd fucking imagine, right? I don't fucking know. This is a weird fight. It's a weird fight. But I am going to go with Brendan Allen to get this fight done.